G'day YouTube, it's Brett here from Overtime Gaming with you once again, and welcome back with some more FIFA 13 Connected Career Mode. And of course, there's no doubt of who we're back with today, ladies and gentlemen. It is Newcastle United, the Black and White Army, the Toon Army, the Mighty Magpies. And we've got some more Premier League action once again today, guys. And that's a game against QPR. And for anyone that is wondering, this is the last Premier League game before the Europa League final. As you can see, we've still got a game in hand over the teams above us, and a win today actually puts us into that 7th spot. 6th spot is a bit out of the completely out of the question when you look at the actual points there is, but we can get that 7th spot and maybe push for a fair play Europa League spot. But I don't know if that actually is on FIFA. But anyway, you can see our team there. You can see we're resting a few key players. Arfa, Menez, Gufron, Cabaye and Digne and Corsia are all out today, guys. And that, of course, is because we have the Europa League final tomorrow. Not tomorrow in the series, but tomorrow in real life. The Europa League final is 4 days away after this game, I believe. But tomorrow's episode, of course, Wednesday's episode, will be the Europa League final against Spartak Moscow. So it's going to be absolutely huge, and we may be bringing Newcastle's first major trophy for 60 years, I believe. It could be more. Yeah, it could be 100. I can't really remember. I mean, the last trophy we won was the championship, and before that, I had never been alive to see Newcastle win a cup other than the Intertoto Cup, which of course was the old competition that used to be able to qualify you for the Europa League. But that's all I've seen them win, to be fair. So seeing my team on FIFA, albeit, win the Europa League will be absolutely huge. And it's a great step in the right direction towards becoming one of Britain's greatest clubs. Now, of course, we're building an all-French side, and it's a team that has been brought together for the first time this season. The majority of them have never played with each other before, so putting them all together in one lineup was definitely going to be a hard task, and we've seen that in the Premier League so far. It's been a tough time in the Premier League, but we have pushed ourselves into 7th if we win today. But we've also booked ourselves a Europa League title championship spot. So a huge season in all honesty, and I couldn't really have asked for much more. And hopefully we'll win the Europa League and give us something to build on next season. Bring in some money into the club for next season. Buy some top talent. The likes of Varane, Remy, players like that. And we do score the early goal. 16 minutes in. Moses Sissoko gets the beautifully struck free kick. He completely meant it to go straight down the middle there. That touch, you thought that hit the wall. That didn't. That was just perfect curl. I'm joking. Look at this. He smacks it. It's never going in. Keeper's got it all day. And all of a sudden it hits the middleman in the wall. Bounces the opposite direction. The keeper has no chance. And we go up 1-0 on QPR. Now, of course, this is the game that will happen at the weekend in real life. And Newcastle desperately need a win at the weekend. Because tonight there are a couple of games. I'll get onto that in a minute. Of course, last night Sunderland played, and they played Stoke. All Newcastle fans were cheering for a Stoke win, because if Stoke had won, Sunderland were only 2 points of relegation, with Wigan having a game in hand over them, which of course that game in hand is actually tonight. So Newcastle fans were going mad for it, but all of us, Sunderland got a point out of it, drew 1-1 with Stoke, even with Craig Gardner getting sent off. And what a fantastic goal from Brahimi there. Brahimi scores another clutch goal. He's been very good as a utility player, and is definitely up for my award of utility player of the season. Now, speaking of awards, guys, remember there is goal of the season. If you see a goal of the season candidate, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll put it in the goal of the season video. You're also voting on player of the season, and of course there's one vote for just leaving their name in the comment section below, but if you leave the reason why, you get a second vote as well, so that counts as 2 votes for your player of the season. Now, I have been asked to leave the stats of the players for the player of the season vote, so it allows people to make a better judgment on the decision. Now, I had already recorded this video before showing the before the request came in, So I've just done the audio now, and which is why I'm saying tomorrow, which will of course... What a fantastic finish by Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba has scored 2 incredible goals in the last 2 games, and that's goal of the season candidate. If you agree with me, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll definitely include it in the voting video. But what a turn and a fantastic shot. And you can see I'm showing the replays more and more here, and that was absolutely incredible strike, and we've just got to see it a number of times. That was an incredible strike. We're going to look at it from multiple angles here, and it was just the way he turned his man and then blasted it into the top corner. So we look at it once more. What a turn, and the goalkeeper Julio Cesar had absolutely no chance. As we look at it a final time from one last direction. And we're zooming in here. We're looking to get the player. And I really should have edited this out. But hey, I'm more focused on the Europa League Championship than I am this game. As we rewind a bit. But look at this beautiful run by Pogba. Fantastic skill. Just beats the midfielder, which I believe is Granero, or could be Park. And a fantastic finish. The goalie had no chance. And we are all of a sudden up 3-0 within half an hour. This is incredible. This is the sort of performance we need from basically our backup side before going into the Europa League final. And of course, this gives us the momentum. This is inspiring our first team. We can perform like this against Spartak Moscow. There is no doubt we're coming out Europa League champions. God, this is huge. Now, as I was saying, Stoke and Sunderland drew 1-1, and of course that means now Sunderland, Norwich and Newcastle are all on 38 points, which is only 3 points ahead of Wigan, and of course Wigan have that game in hand, which is tonight against Swansea City, and it's massive because if Wigan win tonight against Swansea, all of a sudden Newcastle actually go into that 18th spot in the relegation zone because of goal difference. And all of a sudden, teams at the bottom will be getting shaky. But lucky for Newcastle, we have got QPR left to play at the weekend. And I'm going to say it once again. If we lose to QPR, we deserve to get relegated. And I'm not going to have any concerns about being relegated, because we deserved it if we lose to QPR. And that's just the simple truth. But I don't see anything but a Newcastle win against QPR. And I think we'll be safe as soon as we do that. Of course, we've got Arsenal on the last day of the season, but it's the teams around us that will struggle. I can't remember who Wigan have got in the last few games. I believe they've got Arsenal as well, and then Villa on the last day of the season. Of course, they've got the FA Cup final on Saturday, which is providing them with a tough run-in because they have Swansea City tonight, FA Cup final against Man City on the Saturday. Then I believe it's a game against Arsenal on a Tuesday, and then they play the final game of the season on the Saturday. So they've got a lot of games in a short space of time, which definitely could aid the teams at the bottom. But the team that definitely should be worrying is Norwich right now. And that, of course, is because they've got a tough run-in. They've got West Brom at the weekend. And in all honesty, I'm going to say it now, if they don't beat West Brom, they are the team that will get relegated. And the reason I'm saying that is because they have Man City on the last day of the season. And I'm sorry, but there is no way Norwich are beating Man City in the Premier League. That is just not happening. And fantastic strike by Marvauex, but unlucky, just comes off the post. But as I was saying, if Norwich do not beat West Brom, they will be the team that will go down. In all honesty, I don't see them beating West Brom. So in my opinion, I don't think Newcastle, Wigan or Sunderland have anything to worry about. Especially with Newcastle playing QPR, I think we're safe. But then again, as much as I'll be disappointed with Newcastle getting relegated again, it will provide me with a great series for my YouTube channel next season. And the reason behind this, I'm going to say it now, if Newcastle get relegated next season, Newcastle will probably be my FIFA 13 connected career mode. I'll give 2 options, and QPR do get a goal back there. Loic Remy, who is most likely going to be a Newcastle player in this series next year, gets the goal. But as I was saying it now, there will be I'll give you a choice on who this series will be in FIFA 14. But in all honesty, if Newcastle get relegated, which I don't think they will, but if they do, that will most likely become my series for next season, bringing them back to the Premier League and bringing them to Premier League glory. As I think that would just be a good series to go with. If not, Newcastle will still be one of the options in the Premier League. But there also will be teams like Juventus, and then whoever has a good transfer window and stuff. Maybe someone like MK Dons or Oxford or something. So that would be massive. And of course, one of my teams will actually be in the conference next year if they win their playoff game at the weekend. They've got the playoff final at the weekend for the Blue Square North, and it puts them into the conference, the Blue Square Premier, and that is Brackley Town, and they are literally 2 miles away from me, guys. So it'll be huge for them to get through. I'm going to try and get tickets for the final, and just going to be absolutely massive if they get into the conference. Hopefully they can then get a quick promotion from the conference, and I can make a season with them on FIFA 15, which will be absolutely massive for me, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the conference is on FIFA, so that I won't be able to take them. But if it is on FIFA, let me know. I know it used to be on FIFA like 10 or something, but I think it's just League 2 that is on there now, is the lowest English league. So there have been another few things that have gone on in football this week, and that's Steven Gerrard will be out for the rest of the season. And lovely strike there from Pogba, but he couldn't get another goal. Steven Gerrard's having shoulder surgery, so he'll be out for the rest of the season. So big blow for Liverpool, but once again, they've not really got anything to play for. So shit happens, as they say. Now, as for me saying Sunderland fans don't have to worry, they do kind of have to worry now. I can't remember who they play, but they're without their top goal scorer, Stephen Fletcher, who is still their top goal scorer, even missing half of the season. Alongside that, their second top goal scorer, Craig Gardner. Another goal for QPR, and all of a sudden it's 3-2. But I'm pretty sure we can hold on against QPR with 10 minutes to go. But as I was saying, Sunderland have lost their top goal scorer, Fletcher. He's out for the rest of the season. They are now without Craig Gardner, who got sent off at the weekend. So massive. What am I on about? Poor showing for Sunderland there. They've got no Craig Gardner, who's their second top goal scorer, I believe. They've then got Sessegnon, who's their third top goal scorer and assist leader, who is also suspended for the rest of the season. So basically 3 of their best players are all suspended. So they're definitely in a bit of trouble. And in all honesty, they have a tough run in as well. They have Southampton on the 12th of May, which is Sunday, of course. And then a week later go and play Spurs away. So once again, I'm going to say it again. If Sunderland do not beat Southampton, I think it's going to be between them and Norwich to go down. And in all honesty, if Newcastle don't beat QPR, Norwich, Sunderland and Southampton are all in a lot of trouble, in all honesty. So big shock for those 3 clubs. And it's definitely not something that we want to be going on. How they managed to get a draw out against Stoke with only 10 men, I don't know. Stoke are a much better side, but that's what happens in football, I suppose. So can't really argue with that. And but hopefully they won't pick up a win. In all honesty, I think I'd rather Sunderland get relegated than Norwich, but I still think Norwich will be the team to go down. Newcastle will be safe. As you can see, we pick up the 3-2 win over QPR here, guys. And Aliadiare came off the bench, started and played quite well. Didn't get a goal. See the rest of the results there, guys. We do move up into 7th. And of course, we've got the Europa League final in the next video. It's going to be absolutely massive, guys. Hopefully, we can pick up the win against Spartak Moscow before we go to play Stoke and then Arsenal on the last day of the season. So, massive end to the season for us. And remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, vote for your player of the season, guys. And peace out, YouTube. We're heading into overtime.